can do it. I'm sure we can do it. We just got to, yeah, 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 yeah. I know we can do it. I'm sure we can do it. We got to.
Last year, at the beginning of December, the UK government told all poultry keepers, commercial and domestic, that we needed to keep our birds under cover to protect them and the wider bird population from the threat of avian flu. And this threat came from migrating birds. So not a problem, get your birds inside for a month. And then they extended that month for another 2 months, and then for another 2 months. So potentially our birds were inside undercover for 5 months over the winter. And what we did was, well, we shut them into the stable to start with, and then we built the covered walkway. So we just used some 2x1 battening and drove stakes into the ground and built this framework, and then we put the chicken wire over the top of that and some debris netting over the top of that, so that wild bird poop couldn't get in. No wild birds could get in, nor could any poop. So the doors got shut, and gaps like that got filled up, and everything was secure. But it rained, as it does in winter. And it rained some more, and it rained and rained and rained, and the ground in the walkway became, well, this soggy, sticky mess. And over the last few days, the torrential rain has reminded us just how yucky it gets in here. And no matter how much bedding I throw down or wood chippings, it just stays this disgusting, soggy mess. So I asked Mr. J to give me a hand covering the covered run, and that's exactly what we've done. So above me here we've got a piece of twin wall polycarbonate type stuff, the same sort of thing that gets put into the ceilings of conservatories. And for the rest of it, we've put a tarpaulin up, so we've still got the netting and then the debris netting, and then there's a tarpaulin above it. And it's not glamorous, but do you know what, it does the job. So this is what Mr. J and I were doing this morning. Oh, you can hear me squelching on the soggy ground. So there we go. It's really not glamorous, it's not it's not elegant, and I suspect it's going to have to be temporary because I think the wind will rip at this. And then up here is the old piece of twin wall, or it might even be triple wall or something like that. But anyway, it's this piece of clear plastic sheeting that we've got there, and it does a job. So I'm going to look online and see if I can find a clear tarpaulin rather than a blue one, because I think this could get quite dark and depressing for them in the winter. And obviously the less light they get, the less likely they are to lay eggs. So if we could find a clear or a white tarpaulin, that might be better. And best of all would be to find some more of the rigid plastic sheeting that's usually used on top of conservatory roofs, but we might have to wait for that one. Today's harvest has been another fabulous one. My next door neighbours very kindly said I could go and get some more windfall apples. And so here are the last of 34 pounds of apples that I picked up. Now these are big apples. They're not little ones. And so 2 apples are the best part of a pound of apples. In fact, 2 of these big ones are well over a pound. Now nothing is going to waste on this apple. I'm cutting out all the bruised bits, any bits with codling moth and any other damage, and then all the damaged bits, bruised bits and cores, and any peelings I take off. are going into a bucket so I can make some cider apple vinegar with them. So absolutely nothing going to waste on these apples. Another 2.5 pounds of runner beans from the plants today. And those runner bean plants have just done brilliantly this year. They have just, it's been pound after pound. I thought I'd get about maybe a pound a day, but it's been £2 and £3 a day for most of this week. It's been wonderful. And then already prepped and in the freezer are some Mirabelle plums and some more blackberries. In fact, while I've got the freezer open, because I don't want to keep opening and closing it, let me show you what I've been doing with some of those runner beans. So I've been putting them into bags. These are 2 people portion size bags. So there's a few bags there, and there's a few more in there. And then there's broad beans and Armange too, and some more runner beans. And in this drawer we've got more runner beans down there, and Balotti beans and the Savoy cabbage. And in the bottom drawer, well, more runner beans and some courgettes. Now, I haven't been able to grow any courgettes this year. The plants just didn't grow, and they didn't grow last year. So I'm kind of assuming it's something to do with the seed, because it's the same seed as last year. So definitely I will be buying new seed for next year. But my next door neighbour has very kindly swapped some courgettes for runner beans, and so we've got some courgettes, they've got some runner beans, and jobs are good. I've also picked a few raspberries today, but they won't count towards my total of harvest, because we're going to eat those with supper. I'm going to make some meringues, and we've got a little bit of cream, and we're going to have a pavlova type pudding. But I have got some chives that are going into my harvest, because I like to have fresh herbs. If I chop and prepare them now, and I pop them into a bag, then I can just pull a few out at a time when I need them during the winter. There we go. That's there we go. It's just over 3 ounces, and probably with the weight of the bag, it's just under 3 ounces of chopped chives. Yeah, and I particularly like chives on potato salad, and when we're doing celebrations, it's very easy just to throw potato salad together the day before and a few chives in it. Makes it really lovely. In the freezer, I have a box that is filled with frozen herbs, which means that when I'm cooking and I want to add fresh herbs, they're just there, they're handy, I know where they are. And again, by using homegrown herbs, I know that they haven't had any chemicals sprayed on them, and I know that the food miles are, well, they're not miles, they're feet. All in all, I think it's been a pretty good day today. And now I'm going to carry on preparing those apples, ready to get them stewed, cooled, and in the freezer. So wherever you are in the world, and whatever you've been doing today, I hope it's been a good one for you. And I also hope you can join me again tomorrow.